Mercedes-Benz has launched their most important product of this year, the E-Class. Well, Mercedes-Benz has been on a launching spree. They have already launched 12 products this year and they are promising to launch 2 more. So very exciting year for the company, and to talk more about it, I have with me Mr. Santosh Iyer. Santosh, thank you so much for joining us, and we have just spoken recently about your electric portfolio, but now this is probably one of the most important product because it gets you great numbers and also a lot of credibility. So tell me something. Have you seen the E-Class buyer change over time?
You know, E-Class, as you rightly said, has a very special place in our hearts and our company, because this is the car we came to India way back in '95, and we have done more than 57,000 cars on the Indian roads now. So it has a huge presence also, and earned a lot of trust and you know, from the customers. For us, this car, of course, you know, it's just not volume driver. It's around 20% of the volume, but we were also able to crack the rear dedication requirement of the Indian consumer. You know, with this car, we extended the wheelbase in 2017. Many followed. That's a different story. But I think for therefore we go all in whenever we launch an E-Class, and now with 3 variants, customer has the best offering when it comes to these cars.
But you know, you have been able to price it very close to the existing E-Class. How have you been able to manage that? Because now the new E-Class has a lot of added features.
So firstly, we said it's introductory pricing. That's a very good observation. So let's see how long we can keep on to it. But yes, for customers who have already booked, we will definitely, and we continue to take these bookings even now, expression of interest as well. So it's challenging, no doubt. But you know, we had 2 options. Either we take away content and we try to reduce price, but that's not Mercedes-Benz. We have always been trying to give as far as possible content in the car. What is possible in India, of course, some customers want even more, but there are some restrictions, global code restrictions. So we equip a car and then we try to price it as much, which a market can also absorb. At this stage, I think looking at the market, we wanted to price it at a very aggressive price point, I would say, and this is really a great deal, which I'm sure market was not expecting. But you know, on the other side, we have now headwinds. We have headwinds in exchange rate. The euro is already at 93. Our logistic costs are going up, shooting up the roof because of all the challenges around Middle East. So geopolitical issues. So with that, there would be price increases, but hopefully not now, but maybe start of next year.
You know, I wanted to understand that whether the E-Class requirements per se has changed, because we have known that E-Class is a car which is mostly chauffeur driven. But have you
that
seen?
Was sorry, that was the way you started the question. So yes, it has changed over 30 years. You know, earlier it was just a symbol and luxury car, symbolizing a luxury car. Today, a lot of families use this car for multiple purposes. So Monday to Friday is more rear seat, Saturday, Sundays is driving. The reason we also introduced the 450, because there are a lot of customers who buy this car for their family in the rear seat and they drive themselves. So how can we give them a close to AMG experience with a 450 engine and AMG line? And therefore we have 3 variants for different customer needs. A lot of women buyers now, it has gone up to 15% compared to hardly a couple of single digit percentage points many years back. The average age has come down, so there is also more younger customers buying this car. And it's a go-to car when people think of getting into luxury. You know, E-Class defines the segment to a large extent. So, and more importantly, we are also seeing this rewarding yourself philosophy. You know, when you achieve something, or it may be even small, the first thing you want is to buy a luxury car or a watch, and then of course E-Class actually is a very, it's a safe choice, right? Though it's a sedan, people say whether sedans still have demand, but I think E-Class and S-Class are clear testimonies to say that sedans are here to stay and doing extremely well as well.
So compared to what's available in the international market, are there a few changes, India-specific changes in the E-Class?
Yes. So, you know, this car, India is the only market to make a right-hand drive long wheelbase E-Class. So, first of all is a suspension settings, ground clearance, everything has been tuned for Indian road conditions. So we had to really, along with our colleagues in RD Bangalore, we really worked to set up the car differently. Secondly, India has this spare wheel requirement because of the road conditions, and also people want to feel safe with a spare wheel. That used to consume a lot of space in the rear. Now we have been able to engineer the spare wheel below the load floor, so there is a lot of space in the boot. In terms of localization, for the first time in a luxury car, for Mercedes-Benz, we have localized glasses. It's made in India now, and we are able to localize it. That also brings cost of ownership and long-term values better. And also when it comes to ADAS, this active braking assist sometimes in traffic conditions is a pain. You have to switch it off. So we have ensured that this car you can permanently disable. Of course, we will recommend to do it with caution. So a lot of India-specific, small but very critical topics we have ensured that the car is an upgrade here.
Now, I also want to understand, because you have today announced your Q3 results as well, and great year. The entire year has been great for you, and the last quarter was also very good. Can you tell us some headline numbers and what led to it?
I think for us, quarter 3, which is we follow July to calendar year, so quarter 3 is July to September, we grew by 21% and with more than 5,100 cars sold in one quarter. And if I look at cumulatively Jan to September, we grew by 13% with around numbers of 14,400 odd. So I think that's a great number if you look at the pace and the base that we are operating at. The key reason is products to start with. I think products which are suited for India, customized, very high resale value for Mercedes-Benz car, and more importantly the customers love and the desirability. Today we say this, today's event I explained about the dream was the passion for the brand. I think in India there is a big respect for the three-pointed star, their love, their trust, and therefore it's translated into demand as well. So when we launch the right cars, let me talk about EVs. Last quarter we introduced 3 new EVs, and if you look at even electric car sales, we have grown by 84% compared to last year, more than 800 units, clearly leading the electric car market as well. So I think right products, right segments, fully loaded equipment and car, and of course the service reliability as well as the trust on the brand. These are, I would say, the recipe for the success.
So now what percentage of your total portfolios are EVs?
6% of our portfolio are EVs. So if you remember last time we met, we said 2.5% to 3-4%, 5%. Now we are at 6% of our portfolio are EVs. So we are slowly but surely growing in EVs.
Now that you are talking about headwinds, which is logistical challenges, supply side challenges, do you think this year you will be able to show exceptional growth, the way you were saying earlier, that double-digit growth?
No, for sure. I think till now we have been able to manage the double-digit growth. The quarter 2 was an exception because of elections and the seasonality there. But right now we are still on target for a double-digit growth for the full year. It should be a record year for Mercedes-Benz. Things go well. Of course, we have a lot to do. We have to deliver these cars to customers. A lot of them waiting right now. Plus also the entire portfolio and manage the festive season, etc. But the team is working. We are trying to push, and 2 more launches as well in the top end segment in the next 2 months' time.
And what has the response been to E-Class till now?
We have the phones have not stopped ringing at our dealerships ever since we introduced the expression of interest. Of course, there was not clarity on price. We have not disclosed, but E-Class is an icon by itself. People just trust us. So it's not about the price. The first set of customers have just booked it and they all want the first set of cars. So no booking numbers. We don't want to give anything at this stage, but it's tremendous actually. We should be, the challenge is to cope up with demand from our production colleagues.
But you expect the cost, the raw material costs are going up?
Oh, surely. The cost, input cost, logistic more than, I think our supply chain has been able to manage the timelines with logistic supply chains. But costs are really going up, and for us the bigger issue is the exchange rate, because as I said, we have a lot of import dependency as well from Europe, and with a euro at 93 to a rupee, it's challenging. So early next year there should be price increases across the board.
All right, Santosh, thanks a lot for taking
Thank you for
time
joining
out,
us.
and
Thank you.
thanks.
Thanks.